So today for this deep dive, we have some truly intense sources from Guru Amar Das Ji's writings, specifically in Ragvatans.
Very intense.
Yeah, it's honestly a bit terrifying at first. He doesn't really ease you into it at all. He just paints this visceral picture of a world that is literally burning, just crying out in pain. Our mission today is to figure out why this fire exists and why our typical solutions just completely fail to put it out.
Right, and it is jarring, but it's important to clarify right up front that he isn't talking about a physical wildfire here
No.
or climate change. It is a spiritual diagnosis of the human condition. That fire is Trishna.
Which is translated as thirst
Mhm.
or desire. But reading this, it feels more like an addiction.
Exactly. It is a very specific, insatiable desire. It is a craving that actually burns hotter the more you try to feed it. The text says people are in genuine spiritual agony trying to quench a thirst with no bottom.
And that sets up what I think is the most striking analogy in this whole text. Guru Amar Das Ji says, destroying the snake's hole does not kill the snake.
That metaphor does so much heavy lifting here.
It really does.
Because if you are terrified of a snake and you just smash the dirt around its burrow, you feel you're doing something. You are sweating and you look busy.
But the snake is completely safe inside.
Exactly. And the hole in this context represents the external appearance or empty religious rituals.
So people wearing ceremonial robes.
Precisely. They look holy on the outside.
Yeah.
But the text calls them nigar, meaning they are without a true guru, without real guidance.
So you can look the part and smash the snake's hole all day long. But if you never touch the snake, which is the internal ego and desire, nothing actually changes.
The fire just keeps burning. The text is incredibly blunt about this. It says wearing ceremonial robes, the fire is not quenched. You are just dressing up the anxiety.
The chinta.
You're not curing it.
Not at all.
Okay, so if smashing the hole fails and dressing up fails, what actually works? Because the text does shift here from this intense heat to cooling.
It introduces the satigur seetal, the true guru who is cooling and soothing.
But that isn't just about physically meeting a teacher, right? No, it is about the sabadh, the divine message or the word. When you serve the true guru, the sabadh comes to abide in the mind.
That is the cooling agent.
Yes, it is an internal transformation. When the sabadh settles in, it completely replaces that burning trishna.
So you replace the heat of anxiety with a completely different state.
Satiation. Your mind and body become cooled and soothed. You stop being hungry for the world and become satiated with the name of the Lord. Harnam.
Which brings us to the idea of the gurmukh. We see this term a lot in our sources, the person who is truly aligned with the guru.
And because they are aligned, they manage to do what the robe wearers could not. They eradicate homai, the ego.
They kill the snake?
They kill the snake. And without that ego, the result mentioned here is fearlessness.
Which is such a bold promise, just zero fear.
But it is logical if you think about it. Fear comes from attachment, from protecting your status or your snake hole. If you dissolve that ego through the sabadh, what is left to fear?
Nothing.
Right. The text says without the name, no one becomes fearless. They're just ruined by egotism.
It completely reframes what a successful life looks like for you. It is not about accumulation. It is that shift from burning to cooling.
And that is where the final image comes in. Tasting the ambrosial fruit of the Lord's name is a complete sensory override. You go from the agony of burning desire to the sweet, cooling peace of the name.
So it is a journey from fire to fruit. But it absolutely hinges on whether you are focused on the inside or the outside.
That is the big takeaway.
So here is a thought for you to carry with you today. Are you exhausted because you are busy beating the ground around the snake's hole, fixing your image and checking boxes? Or are you doing the real work to deal with the snake inside?
It really is the difference between looking peaceful and actually being at peace.
Something to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.